That's the simple case where there are no children. Now, of
Yeah.
course, as soon as you have children, the situation becomes more complicated.
More complicated.
So what happens if you have children?
If you have children, the procedure is going to take more time because the public prosecutor who is going to protect the interests of the children are going to be involved.
Yes.
Okay? It is that if there is an agreement between both parties, it is necessary to have the review of that agreement by the public prosecutor, and that is going to take more time. It is that type of divorce, when you have children, it can take more time.
Yes. And so the agreement between the parties about the children would cover what? Things like who is going to pay for the children, where they're going to go to school, what education they're going to receive religiously, all of these things?
All of that things.
Now, I guess you as the lawyer will know all of the things that need to be contained in that agreement.
Of course.
Whereas I, as a member of the public, wouldn't.
Yeah.
So it's important, if you want a quick and simple divorce, that the documents contain all of the things that need to be covered.
That is. It is that what normally we do is that we give to the client who is interested in getting the divorce a draft of a divorce agreement.
Yes.
Okay, doing mention of all that the terms that must be discussed. Okay,
Yes.
and then the client, you can have time to think about that, to think about where the children are going to live, how much you are going to pay for the maintaining of the children, the visit that you are going to have, all the terms of the divorce.
Yes.
And it is after 3-4 days thinking about all that when we will be in a position to pass that draft to the other part to discuss about that.
And that document, which of course would be in Spanish, would be provided to the client in translation so that they could read it in their own language.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
With children, the three things that in my experience normally cause problems: one, who's going to pay for them; two, who are they going to live with; three, how often are they going to see the other parent? And my guess is that's the same in Spain.
Okay. Yeah.
Does the Spanish system have any preference for where the children live? Is it normal for them to live with the father or the mother?
The normal, in the most of the cases, is that the children are going to live with the mother.
But that's not a matter of law, that's just a matter of the way society works.
That is.
Yes.
That is. Legally, the father has the same rights, okay? But the normal is that they are going to be with the mother.
And what is the obligation of the parent to maintain the children? The court will expect, before they approve a divorce, will the court expect there to be proper financial provision for the children?
Yeah, the court is going to confirm that, and by law you have the obligation of the maintaining of the children.
As even if you're divorced or not divorced, under the Spanish civil law, there's a standard obligation to maintain your children.
That is. Yes. It is that, including if you are not married.
And if you are in a position where you have to think about maintaining your children, are you going to have to pay a certain amount each month, for example? If you have a lot of wealth, do you have to pass a certain amount of your wealth to your children, or is it just a question of monthly payments?
In Spain, we have two types of compensation. One compensation that a pension that you must pay to the person who has the custody of the children in order to collaborate with the maintaining of the children.
Yes.
That is an obligation that you have by law, and that obligation doesn't depend on the incomes that you have. You have the obligation because you are the father or the mother. And if you don't pay that, it can be a criminal offense. It is that you can go to prison if you don't pay the minimum maintaining that you must pay for your children. Apart of that, there is another compensation pension that you must pay, that you can pay depending of the level of incomes and the level of depending of the lifestyle that you have had with your family before getting the divorce.
Yes. Yeah. And so all of that is arranged, and then these arrangements go in front of the prosecutor, and the prosecutor says, yes, these look fair, or these don't look to be fair.
That is.
And if he thinks they look fair, he will sign the papers and they will pass the judge.
That is.
So that sounds like a fairly straightforward procedure.
It is.
If you have a divorce where there are children involved, and provided the parents are not having a big battle, because if they want to have a battle, they can take a long time to have a divorce, as we all know. But if the parents want to make progress and they make sensible arrangements for the children, how long would it take for a divorce from beginning to end in those circumstances?
It can be, in a case like that, it can be, divorce can be in between 4-6 months.
So this is really quite quick.